We've been talking about books to change your mind with the book vlogger Simon Savage, and our featured interview tonight is with the author of a book all about conspiracy theories and how to fight them. It's called simply Conspiracy Theories and was published in October last year. Quassim Cassam is a professor of philosophy at the University of Warwick, and I asked him to start, what's the difference between a conspiracy and a conspiracy theory?
A conspiracy is just when you have a small group of people working together, usually in secret, to do something bad. So if you have a bunch of people planning a surprise birthday party for a friend, that's not a conspiracy. A conspiracy theory, in the kind of ordinary sense, is just a theory that explains some event, usually a significant event, by reference to a conspiracy. I mean, that would be the natural way of thinking about a conspiracy theory. I think there are some problems with that way of thinking about them, but that's a reasonable place to start.
Presumably then, a conspiracy theory can mutate into a conspiracy if it gets confirmed. So if I thought to myself, you know what, I've got an inkling that my friends are planning me a surprise birthday party. I don't really have any evidence, but I've just got a feeling. That would be a conspiracy theory. But then when it turned out that they were, it's a conspiracy. Is that right?
Yeah. So, I mean, to take a real world example, I mean, if you think about Watergate, there were some journalists who had the suspicion that something fishy had gone on at around that time involving the Nixon administration, and of course they turned out to be right. So people talk about the Watergate conspiracy, and you can talk about people having had a theory about that, and that theory then being confirmed by the evidence or the facts.
And so does that, the fact that happened sometimes, so that's an example, I suppose, that something like the Gulf of Tonkin incident that was used as part of the justification for the Vietnam War, and there was a conspiracy theory about that, and then it subsequently transpired that, there had been a bit of nefarious sort of false claims going on. Does that fuel conspiracy theories? Because they're like, well, sometimes these are proved to be correct.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. I mean, it's a fact about history that history is full of conspiracies. Certainly there's the example that you mentioned, and countless others. So given that there are actual conspiracies, it's natural for people to suspect that there are other conspiracies that haven't been uncovered yet. And I'm sure that's a source of a lot of conspiracy theorizing. It's not the only source, but I'm sure it's a major source.
What are typical features of conspiracy theories then? Do they conform to a number of elements?
Well, it depends on whether one's using conspiracy theory in the very loose sense that we've been using it, or in what I would think of as a more accurate sense. So here's an example. Of course, there are conspiracy theories about 9/11, and mostly these conspiracy theories argue that one way or another the Bush administration was responsible for 9/11. Now, that's a conspiracy theory. Now, look at the report of the official 9/11 Commission. Now, that report basically explained 9/11 as the result of an Al-Qaeda conspiracy. So there was a conspiracy orchestrated by a guy called Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and he put the operation together, which was then carried out by the 19 hijackers. Now, that's also a conspiracy. So I suppose my question is this. I mean, do we really want to say that the official account of 9/11 was a conspiracy theory in the same sense that the Bush administration theory was a conspiracy theory? So I think my view is that the official account was certainly a theory about a conspiracy. It certainly explained something by reference to a conspiracy, but it's not what I think we would ordinarily call a conspiracy theory. And the interesting question is, why not? And I mean, part of the answer to that question is that, well, it was the official account. Whereas I think conspiracy theories, as these are ordinarily understood, go against the official account. They're contrary to the official view. So it's a little bit odd to call the official view itself a conspiracy theory. Another kind of relevant fact about this is that, and here I'm just in a way expressing my own view, I mean, it seems to me that the official account of 9/11 was based on very solid documentary, forensic and eyewitness evidence. It wasn't, as some people might say, just a theory. In contrast, conspiracy theories, capital C, capital T conspiracy theories, like the one about 9/11 being the responsibility of the Bush administration, I mean, these are theories that are not based on that kind of solid evidence. And that's because